We've got some Week 15 OFL action here as the Washington Redskins heading out to Jerry's World to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Redskins at 8-5, Cowboys at 7-6, and to just prove the competitiveness of this division, the Cowboys are dead last. The Giants are also 8-5. Philadelphia, meanwhile, at 9-4. So this division is going to be an absolute dogfight these last 3 weeks. And man, what a game we were treated to today. Let's go first down. Here's Deshaun Watson and the Dallas offense. Watson, you might as well call him Kim Jong-un because he's launching nukes. Getting up to Dez Bryant. That's some vintage Dez right there. Triple covered, still comes down with the catch. Yes, believe it or not, this is not 2015 anymore. And then here comes out the field goal unit. The kick would be good. Right down Main Street, and them boys are on the board. That's Jason Myers with the field goal. So now it's 3-0. Ensuing Cowboy possession. Here's Watson on 2nd and 6. Going to go up the middle just a little over to the tight end, Jack Doyle, the former Western Kentucky Hilltopper, bringing it to the 42. Now from about the 38. 3rd down and 7. Here's Watson. He's going to get another play over to his favorite target of the day, and that was Dez Bryant. Now at the 1 to start the second quarter off, 3rd and goal. Can the Cowboys punch it in and extend their lead as Watson taking his time, not going to scramble like he's late on a date, and will find the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown, and they will take a 10-0 lead. So here's the Washington offense led by Tua Tagovailoa, a rookie. Tua's only gone for short passes all game, just like this one right here, whereas Watson has just been flinging balls down the field left and right. That sounds bad out of context, but just go with it. So here would come out the Cowboy offense for their next possession. Is Deshaun Watson going to drop back to pass on 1st down, and he would be sacked as it's the safety, John Johnson III, going downstairs for Daddy Hines Vivatka. And then 2nd and 9, it would be wash, rinse, and repeat as Watson once again sacked by Johnson, making it a 3rd and very long, 3rd and 28. That's what she said, but that's not what she said to me. So can the Cowboys get a big play here? They need 28 yards for the 1st down, so chances are that ain't happening as Watson taking a shot deep downfield, and it's going to be caught. What a play from guess who? Dez Bryant. I'm convinced he took a time machine back to literally 2014 or 2015, because this is not the Dez Bryant that we know today. I don't know why he's playing so well. However, the fun would come to a quick end for the Cowboys as Watson's pass would be tipped and intercepted by Hassan Reddick. And now the Redskins would get it back. 3rd and 7. Here's Tua Tagovailoa with a nice pass on the wheel route. Excellent gain for the Skins as he was just wide open. No one wanted to cover him for whatever reason. And that'll be a Washington 1st down. Now 2nd and 3 from the 19. Here's Tagovailoa looking for the end zone, and he connects for the touchdown. And Washington will make this game a little bit closer. That's the speedy Andy Isabella making it a 3-point game. Can the Cowboys drive down the field here late in the 1st half and make it a 2-score game once again? As on 3rd down, gotta feed the beast. There's Ezekiel Elliott with a gain of 22. And Washington has to call a timeout because Marcus Williams is injured. Not only is that a key player going down, but that also stops the clock for Dallas, and they don't even have to use a timeout. As here is Watson on 1st down, going to be brought down by the combination of Jeffrey Simmons along with Brian Burns for a loss of 9. Now 3rd and 6. We're hopping right into the 4th quarter. The 3rd quarter was very uneventful as that ball is out. Jeffrey Simmons with the force, and it'll be recovered by Taven Bryan, and Washington would get it back. 4th and 4 now from the 37. This is a long field goal, 54 yards, nearly blocked, and it would go in. That is Aldrick Rosas tying the game up at 10 apiece. So Dallas has it back with about 4.5 minutes to go. It is 3rd and 8. What will they do here as the pass is going to be picked off by Marcus Williams, who has obviously returned the game. Another ill-advised throw from Watson. I am convinced he put a blindfold on for half of his passes in this game because some of them just made no sense. And then here's DeAndre Swift bringing Washington into field goal range. They now have the opportunity to finish this sucker off. 3rd and 1 at the 2. A little bit over a minute to go. Can Washington punch it in? The answer is yes. Chase Edmonds will find the end zone for the touchdown. But let me just say, this is just the start, because this last minute is going to be quite something. 24 seconds left. Here is Watson on first down. He's going to get it up the middle for his man Anthony Miller for a solid gain, but there's a flag. Face mask on Marcus Williams. Not only does that give Dallas an extra 15 yards, but it also stops the clock. Now there's 12 seconds left. Dallas out of timeouts. Watson hoping he gets lucky, and he does. That'll be a touchdown for the Cowboys. Almost looked like he wasn't in, but that's TJ Jones with the score. So this game's going into overtime, right? Well, all Dallas has to do is get a stop on this kickoff. It'll be received at about the 3-yard line by the rookie Antonio Gandy Golden. He has a few blocks. Gandy Golden down the field. No one will catch him. And the Redskins will walk it off in style. The rookie from Liberty, Antonio Gandy Golden, will win it on the kickoff return. Wow. And the Redskins will improve to 9-5 just like that. What an ending. Looking at the numbers, Tua Tagovailoa was very efficient. Deshaun Watson was just heaving up prayers all day. But what an ending, man. I don't even know if that TJ Jones touchdown, if he was in or not, but we got to see an incredible finish on the kick return touchdown from Antonio Gandy Golden, giving the Redskins the win. Let's take a look now at the rest of the league. The Packers beat the Panthers. Carolina on a little bit of a skid. They've lost 3 straight. Not a great game from Patrick Mahomes. Sam Darnold does shine. And the Packers, who started the season off 0-3, are now 8-6. And this NFC North battle between Green Bay, Chicago, and I guess Detroit is quite interesting, as the Bears are actually going to lose to the quote-unquote tanking Minnesota Vikings 31-15, and now the Packers are a full game above the Chicago Bears. So the Packers have fate in their own hands as they try to clinch the division and clinch a postseason berth. The Bucs beat the Falcons. This is significant as Atlanta takes an L. Atlanta and Carolina are fighting for this division. The Bucs are out of the playoff race. Saints are not looking too hot either. So it's going to be either the Bucs, not the Bucs. It's going to be either the Panthers or the Falcons. And both teams losing is rather interesting. Next up, we got the New York Giants scraping by the Baltimore Ravens 17-14. The Ravens obviously made the conference championship last year. This year's been a disaster. The Ravens have already been eliminated from postseason contention. The Giants, meanwhile, improved to 9-5 as they try to win the division or get a wild card spot. Eagles beat the Saints 31-10. This means Philadelphia is still a full game above the Redskins and Giants. The Saints now go down to 6-8. They've just got to hope they somehow get lucky because things are not looking up right now for the New Orleans Saints. The Pittsburgh Steelers defeat the Cleveland Browns 32-24. The Browns have been eliminated a while ago. The Steelers now are currently fighting for the division. The Steelers do not deserve to win the OAFC North, but to be fair, no one does. That division's a train wreck. Steelers or Bengals are going to make the playoffs when neither of them deserve it. Lions beat the Jaguars 13-17. Both of these squads are on the outs looking in, I would say. They both have a chance to win their divisions. They're only a game back of first place. But if they don't win their division, they're probably not going to make the playoffs as a wild card, especially Detroit. Maybe Jacksonville. They're now 8-6, so I suppose it's possible, but not necessarily likely. The Raiders beat the Chargers 38-32. Oakland's already been eliminated from playoff contention, but it is worth noting that Phillip Rivers threw for 420 yards, 420 blaze it. And now the Chargers need pretty much a miracle if they want to stay alive in postseason contention, as they have not played well here in this month of December. The Miami Dolphins beat the Jets 38-14. The whole NFL would have to forfeit at this point for the Jets to make the playoffs. They've been eliminated for a while. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, it's the other way around. They're going to need a miracle not to make the playoffs. While they have not clinched, the Dolphins are pretty much in at this point. They would need a lot of things to not go their way. Broncos beat the Colts 24-21. The Broncos are in the same boat as the Dolphins. They are extremely close to clinching. Now, with Kansas City, having the division lead. That's not going to make things easy for Denver seeding-wise, but they should make it. Colts, meanwhile, still have first place in the AFC South, but the Titans and Jaguars are knocking on the door. 49ers barely scraped by the Rams, 35-32. Solid game from Lamar Jackson and Du Bois. Los Angeles has been eliminated for a while. San Francisco now improves to 10-4. And they're another team that needs an absolute miracle not to make the playoffs. Thank goodness we're making it. Next up, we got the New England Patriots beating the Buffalo Bills 24-10. Obviously, this season has not been perfect for the defending champion Patriots, but they're 8-6. I'd be a little bit surprised if they don't make it, at least as a wild card. Bills, meanwhile, at 6-8. They've sort of fallen off a little bit and probably will not make it. Bengals beat the Titans 42-31. Cincinnati trying to stay alive in the division race. Meanwhile, for the Titans, they are, I think, a game or two behind Indy. But that's certain that OAFC South and AFC North are two divisions to certainly keep your eye on. Cardinals beat the Seahawks 40-35. Solid game from Cardell Jones. It looks like Arizona really ran the ball well. Joe Mixon played well, 2 scores for Lamar Miller. The Cardinals, meanwhile, sit at 9-5, still a game behind San Francisco. I'd be pretty surprised if Arizona doesn't make it, but I have seen crazier. The Texans beat the Chiefs 27-17. Houston's done a really bad job at tanking. They started the year off like 0-7. Now they're 6-8. Meanwhile, the Chiefs, despite the loss, have clinched a playoff berth. Kansas City is the first and so far only team to have clinched a playoff berth, as here's a look at your players of the week. DJ Moore, John Johnson, Dak Prescott, and Mike Hilton. But remember, today's episode is a doubleheader, so we got another game of football on tap as the 7-7 Detroit Lions, fighting for their playoff lives, are going to head out to Minnesota to take on the 4-10 Vikings, who are pretty much, I would say, in tank mode at this point. The Vikings have been mathematically eliminated from playoff contention. The Lions, meanwhile, pretty much have to win out if they want to stay alive in the race. So this is a must-win game here for Detroit. So here's the Viking offense, led by rookie quarterback Joe Burrow. Burrow on second down. He's going to get it up the middle just a little for Sammy Watkins, getting a nice gain. This Vikings team is very young. They have a bunch of talented rookies, J.K. Dobbins, Jerry Jeudy, and Christian Fulton, just to name a few. As here on first down, that's Devin Funchess with a big gain to the 22-yard line. And now from the 1, Minnesota try to punch it in. Handoff to J.K. all day. Touchdown for J.K. Dobbins. And Minnesota is on the board. They will take a 7-0 lead. So here is the Lion offense, led by Cam Newton, Kerryon Johnson, and company, as Cam on first down. Under pressure, and he is going to be sacked by Zach Vigil. Nice play right there. Now 4th and 10. Here's the field goal attempt from about 46 yards out, and the kick is blocked by the Vikings. The special teams unit comes up clutch. That's what the girlfriend did on Tinder. Wink, wink. Getting blocked, as Jalen Ferguson picks it up, brings it all the way to the 22. Now 3rd and 4 at the 16. Handoff for J.K. Dobbins, finds the hole. That's what she did last night. Or no, that's what he did last night. Whatever. That's not what I did last night, I'll tell you that. And the Vikings will take a 14-0 lead. Lions got to get rolling. Here's Kerryon Johnson. I'd like to introduce you, sir, to Hit Stick Harry. Harrison Smith forces the ball out. He recovers the fumble, and this game could not be going any worse so far for Detroit. 4th and goal, awfully short one. That is what she said to me, as the kick is good from Donald DeLahaye, and the Vikings are now up 17-0. Ensuing Minnesota possession, 3rd down and 6. Here is Burrow. Nice pass to the tight end, Evan Engram, for a gain of 26. Burrow 6 for 9 on the day. Nice. Now 3rd and 1 from the 38. Here is Burrow, the former Heisman Trophy winner at LSU, going to get brought down by the big fella, Dontari Poe. Might have had a few too many burgers before the game. So the Lions have it here now in the second half, trying to get things started off on the right note. As here's Cam Newton on first down. Short pass for Adam Humphries, who will bring you all the way to the 20-yard line. And maybe the Lions can try to make a comeback. Down by 3 scores. Let's see if they can do it. Next play from the 20. Here is Cam Newton looking. He will get it over to Adam Humphries again, who loses it. Harrison Smith forces the ball out. It would be recovered by Detroit, however. And now from the 9, here's Cam Newton, another former number 1 overall pick, another former Heisman Trophy winner. He's going to get the touchdown pass as that one would be caught by someone. I can't tell who. So now 4th and 6 from the 25. Here's the Minnesota field goal unit, and the kick is a fake. More fake than my ex-girlfriend, as the Lions will get the stop. I honestly don't blame the Vikings for that play call. Being up by 13 and being up by 10 isn't a gigantic difference. I probably wouldn't have faked it. I probably would have just gone for it entirely. As here's Tahir Whitehead with the sack. 4th and 4 now to start the 4th quarter off. Lions don't really have a choice. They're going to go for it from midfield as they would get the first down. There's Humphries with a gain of 26, bringing it to the 24. And now 2nd and inches at the 1. Lions going to try to punch it in here as Cam Newton under some pressure, and he's going to be sacked by Harrison Smith. The play fake does not work. I would have probably just ran it there if I was the Lions. If they're now going to have to send the field goal unit here on 4th and 11, the kick would be good, and Detroit will make it a one-possession game. But if you're a Lions fan, you probably wish it was a little bit closer. 3rd down now from the 44 here for Minnesota, as it'll be a handoff for J.K. Dobbins. What a run for Dobbins. Can he get the first? He sure can. He should have probably gained about 2 yards there, but instead he jukes out multiple defenders, keeps the drive going, and the Vikings can start to chew clock. 3rd and 7. Another handoff. He only gains 1 or 2, but on 4th and 6, Minnesota will fake the punt. Okay, now this is getting out of hand. I get the fake field goal earlier, but this call makes no sense. Lions now have it at the 18. 19 seconds left. They are out of timeouts. Newton looking for the end zone. He gets it to the open man, but he drops it as the ball is jarred loose. Now it's 3rd and 18, or 3rd and 8 at the 18, sorry. Short pass. I don't get that play at all from Cam Newton. Only gain of 3. The clock will strike 0, and the potential Cinderella playoff run for the Lions is pretty much over as they lose to the Vikings 17-10. Mathematically, the Lions are not eliminated, but their chances are not looking too hot. Here is a look at the box score. Both quarterbacks were solid, other than that late pass from Newton that I just don't get. I don't know why he'd dump it off in the flats where he can't run out of bounds. 2 touchdowns from J.K. Dobbins. Big game from Harrison Smith as well. As we take a look at the rest of the league, the Dolphins beat the Bills 36-14. Hey, didn't they just beat the Jets 36-14? I don't know. Awfully similar score, but regardless, the Miami Dolphins have officially clinched a playoff berth. The Dolphins, sitting at 10-5, will be in the postseason. They did not make it last year, so good for them, I suppose. 14-10, the Ravens beat the Steelers. Massive upset here. Pittsburgh has to still keep winning games because Cincinnati can crawl in and take that division from them. As mentioned earlier, Baltimore is playing for draft position, even though they did get a win here. Next up, the Bears with a huge win over the Colts, 28-7. Chicago had to come out and win this week, and they did just that. Huge game from Calvin Mentor. Jack Jackson, who started off the season phenomenally, has really played poorly these last few weeks, and the Colts have really fallen off a cliff this past, I would say, 2 or 3 weeks. Indy should still win that division, but they're not playing their best ball right now. Broncos beat the Bengals 27-13, and Denver, for the 2nd straight season, has officially clinched a playoff berth. I think they made it last year. Yeah, Denver made it last year. I think it's the 6th seed. Bengals, meanwhile, still a game behind the Steelers as the Falcons with a huge win over New Orleans, putting them now at 9-6. The Saints are officially mathematically eliminated from postseason contention, and now Atlanta here at Week 17 will try to fight for a potential playoff berth. I would expect Atlanta to get it, but it is far from a shoo-in. Next things next, we got the Texans. Their tank continues to fail. In a tank bowl against the Cleveland Browns, Houston will get the win here. And if Houston's 7-8 now, if they were 8-7, they'd literally be in prime position to maybe make a wild card spot. So if they didn't start off 0-7, Houston would be playoff bound. Rams upset for Redskins 21-14. Looks like Tua Tagovailoa really struggled as the Skins go down to 9-6. they are likely probably going to have to play for a wild card spot here in Week 17. So Skins not looking great, but they still got a shot. 28-10, massive win for the Carolina Panthers as they do defeat Tampa Bay. This means the Panthers are 9-6. They are now tied with the Falcons for the division lead as we head to Week 17. I wouldn't be surprised if one of those teams makes a wild card regardless, but still, both teams are going to come out guns blazing. San Francisco beats the Giants 28-24. This means the 49ers have officially clinched a playoff berth. The only team so far in the NFC to clinch that, which means during Week 17, 5 teams are playing for playoff spots, including the New York Giants, who fall to 9-6 with this defeat. The Cardinals beat the Cowboys 27-21. Assuming the Niners win the division, Arizona is likely a shoo-in for the number 5 seed, unless Week 17 goes absolutely haywire. Meanwhile, for the Dallas Cowboys, they are 7-8 and are officially eliminated for postseason contention. Steelers beat the Eagles 18-28. Seattle is 7-1. They still got a shot, and if they make the playoffs, I think they could be a threat to go far, but not necessarily likely. Eagles, meanwhile, despite the loss, are still a full game ahead of Washington and the Giants since they both lost as well. The Eagles have not clinched, but they are likely a shoo-in for the postseason as well. Chiefs dominate the Raiders. Kansas City now up to 11-4, and Kansas City should easily get the 1 seed. Obviously, with Denver in the fold at 10-5, it's not a guarantee, but the number 1 seed will likely go to KC. The Titans absolutely blow the doors off the Chargers, 56-7. 5 interceptions, from Tom Brady. Russell Wilson, the MVP favorite, throws 3 scores, and the Titans are now 8-7. They are fighting likely for a wild card spot. They could win the division, with the Colts now turning into a train wreck, and the Chargers are now pretty much, I think they are officially mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. Patriots beat the Jets 35-21. New England is now 9-6. They should make it as a wild card. They could still clinch the division. The Dolphins are only 10-5, so New England could still win this division and potentially get a 2 seed, which is wild to think about considering the roller coaster of a season it has been in New England. The Jaguars beat the Packers 24-21. Jacksonville now at 8-7, fighting for a wild card spot and maybe a division victory. The Packers, meanwhile, 8-7. They are now tied with the Bears for first place in the division, and the Lions at 7-8 still got a shot as well. So here's a look at the Week 17 schedule. We've got a bunch of really interesting games here. Week 17 will be live on Twitch probably Tuesday or Wednesday. We're going to watch at least 2, maybe 3 games, and we're only going to watch games that impact playoff berths. So got a bunch of good games here on tap on the schedule for us to watch, and I think Week 17 is going to be a thriller with 8 playoff spots still needing to be clinched. The Chiefs, Niners, Broncos, and Dolphins are the only teams that have clinched. Let's go division by division. The Steelers are a game ahead of Cincinnati. They should win that one. In the South, Colts a game ahead of both Tennessee and Jacksonville. And then the Texans, the poorly tanking Texans at 7-8, 2 games behind the Colts. In the East, Dolphins have obviously clinched the playoff spot, but New England still has a shot, only 1 game behind Miami. New England should make the playoffs and could win this division if Week 17 goes poorly for the Dolphins. Chiefs currently the top team in the OFL, but the Broncos are right behind at 10-5. Both teams have clinched playoff berths. And then in the NFC North, this has been a bloodbath since Week 1, and it's going to continue to be a bloodbath. Packers and Bears both 8-7. I guess based off of this order, the Packers would get the tiebreaker. Lions at 7-8, they still get a shot. Falcons and Panthers tied at 9-6. Once again, based on this order, I guess Atlanta would get the tiebreaker. Eagles currently in first in the NFC East. They should clinch. Redskins and Giants both only 1 game back. And then in the West, San Francisco is clinched. If San Francisco wins, they get sole possession of the number 1 seed next week. Same can be said for Kansas City. Cardinals, meanwhile, at 10-5, only 1 game back. So your current seedings if the season ended today: Chiefs 1, Dolphins 2, Colts 3, Steelers 4, Broncos 5, and Patriots 6. And then in the NFC, there are a bunch of tiebreakers here. So Niners 1, Eagles 2, Falcons 3, Packers 4, Cardinals 5, and Panthers 6. Also got the Redskins and Giants with 9 wins, Bears with 8 wins, Seahawks trying to stay alive as well. So the ONFC is going to be a literal toss-up. And as the coach of the Niners, I feel very secure that we have clinched a playoff berth. And obviously, we're the only team that's clinched a playoff berth. Your players of the week go to Andrew Luck, Von Miller, Eric Murray, and the GOAT, Wes Lunt. Have a good one. Deuces.